Don't you love it?
Yeah, I do.
That's so cool. So come on over here behind the chair. Sienna, Lucy, come in. No, come behind the chair. Camera's going now. So we'll come behind the chair. So here we are. So we have Lucy, Sienna, Matthew, YouTube, and we're gonna do some haircuts tonight. And what year are we going for? I think we said like 1980-ish. Yeah. And some haircuts. And we found some wardrobe. So first things first, you guys want to change the wardrobe before we start cutting the hair? Yeah. And then you're gonna go first. You're gonna next, because you guys are both university students in the neighborhood, but you got an exam, so you're gonna have to go first and run away. But we're gonna get changed. So let's grab your wardrobe. Yeah, you look early 80s. Now, we didn't go with the skirt, we're going with those pants because it's better. And we love it. So your turn to go with the time machine. Yeah, that's so cool as well. But same concept, we decided trousers are better. Looks amazing. So who's going first?
I am.
Yeah, I think you're going first, aren't you? Now we're going to have to put you in a chair. Jump on here.
Me?
Yeah, jump on there. And we're gonna have to grab you a chair so that you're part of this, like part of the talk show. Where do you want to sit? Do you want to grab your throne?
Yeah.
Now Lucy's getting comfortable with the throne because she's maybe she becomes our receptionist. We'll see. And you have to choose a cape. Would you like a stripy one, a pink one, or a purple one?
I think pink to go.
Pink's the one to go because you're wearing pink. Aren't you pretty in pink? Yep. And you're okay there. I'll squeeze and move around. And you're from what part of New Zealand?
From Ikahuna.
And where's that?
Small town, about 40 minutes from Masterton.
Masterton. Oh yeah. Because we were saying we were talking about you because you went to school in Masterton. Where are you from in New Zealand? Masterton. So you guys knew each other before coming to uni.
Yeah.
And that's why you're still friends. So you're like mates, as they say in this part. Mates. Would you guys say mates?
Yeah.
We's mates.
Yeah.
No, that's my attempt from being from another person. We's mates. Cool. And you're getting haircuts tonight. Sweet. Raging out there. New Zealand road ragers. But at least they don't have guns.
Yeah.
They just yell. They say, bloody! They start whatever their curse, whatever they have to say with bloody. And we haven't said what we're going to do to the people watching at home. So let's make it a surprise. Well, they can just scroll to the end and find it anyway. It's not much of a surprise anymore. But back when it was broadcast TV, you had to wait. Now you can just scroll ahead. But yeah, we're gonna cut some hair. Come on over, let's wash it. Would you like to wash your hair?
I don't mind.
Cool, let's do it that way. And hang on a second here. So what you can do is go around behind. And you can pull her long hair out and pull it over into the basin. And you can bring her back. Looks like fun.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do, we'll put that there. It should be there anyway. So we're gonna you can turn the water on. Adjust the temperature. You can make it higher if you, well, you can do that if you want. Yeah, it's all good. Wait for the hot water to come.
Yeah.
Kiwi pipes.
Be a little bit cold, please.
Yeah. Takes a minute. This is New Zealand. Takes a minute.
Yeah. Getting warmer. Yeah.
Sweet. There you go. Without any direction at all. I'm not even going to say do this or do that or whatever. We're just going to see what happens. And the long hair is blocking the drain. But that's okay. That's how we learn. And for shampoo, you see the blue bottle, Aqua Pure, over there. Start with that. Give it a good couple of pumps and really lather it in there. Maybe I'll just put the camera down over here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we'll leave it there. And you can rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're psychology, eh?
Mhm.
Cool. Well, I should do it off camera, but I got some texts today.
Hmm?
I got some texts today from somebody who we were friends from 15 to 17, and then I think she had a few bottles of wine because in Toronto it's a little bit later, and she was a little bit hurt by a few things.
Right.
So now we're gonna do conditioner, and you're all natural, aren't you?
Yeah.
For conditioner, let's do Rich and Repair conditioner. So do a good 2 pumps of that, pull it through, and then we're going to put this treatment on there, and we're going to use a treatment brush. I'm going to find your treatment brush. See what happens when you have a bottle and you have a messenger? Oh. Good times, good times. So what you're gonna do is have that conditioner in there. Cool. So next phase is twist the top off the white one with the orange top. Just oh yeah, it's brand new, isn't it? Come this way. Oh no, that was the other one. So just go with your fingers. Let's see how much you got there. Too much.
Too much?
Yeah, just a wee bit. Good enough. And then through. And then you're going to take, well, we'll teach that next. One step at a time. And from the top all the way through. There you go. Go in there. Move it through. Work it in. And then you're going to take that one and you're going to slide it through your middle finger and then you can go all the way through. And you can probably rinse that off now because the treatment through all these ends don't really matter because it's coming off anyway.
Sure.
But it's good to learn it.
Yeah. You're good.
That's probably good enough. Yeah, that feels amazing. So just grab a towel from the thing over there. And then for towels, I'd show you, but I have the camera in my hand, so just imagine like how you would do it. Yeah, the way you got it there. Actually, yeah, the way you got it there. So just basically, the way you would do it is just kind of do that. And then go in there and start to scoop it up from behind and rinse it and wring it out, wring it out, wring it out. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a lot of hair. You're gonna love this haircut though. You're excited already, you can tell. She's not attached to the length, but she wants to have some cool length. It's about having like cool length, but not
Yeah.
having length, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the only reason why it got as long as it did was just because it's called neglect.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nothing wrong with that. Cool. We can come over. Now you. Sweet. We haven't said what we're gonna do. We're just gonna start cutting. Fun. I'll leave some hair there, so we'll do a center party. We'll start cutting it from the center party. Yeah, this will be fun. And it's Friday night in Wellington. We should be playing music in here, but we're not going to be playing because of copyright purposes. But we're going to imagine music. And you guys, we were talking about when the camera was off there, schools. Yeah, you guys went to an interesting one, but we don't have to tell them.
Yeah, that's my hair in a nutshell.
Doesn't matter, it's coming off. I don't know why I'm coming that, but. Now imagine your school had enforced haircuts. They used to though back in the 60s, but they don't now. But the schools in the girls' schools in New Zealand used to have enforced haircuts. But they don't now. But if you had enforced haircuts, well, it would have been shorter. They would have gone up here. It would have been up there. And it would have been. Do you know, if you ever seen the movie Heavenly Creatures?
Yeah.
Why were they all bobbed?
So because of the impulse haircuts?
Yeah, because that was the era of the enforced haircuts. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happened with New Zealand was enforced haircuts, and it had to be bobbed. That's why Heavenly Creatures are all bobbed. And then what happened was, eventually, when they got rid of the haircutting rule, it had to be ponytails. So you guys have to wear ponytails, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was the compromise. Well, if they're not going to do enforced haircuts, ponytails. Now, what are we? 2023, they're still doing ponytails, right? Like after all that time, they can't let it go.
Yeah, so it's either a bob or a ponytail.
Yeah, so it goes back to the old bob
Yeah.
or ponytail. So that rule would go back to about 67, 68. Because early 60s, you had to be bobbed. And then when they said, well, you know, when that rule fell apart, grab another one, then it was like ponytail or bobs. And then you guys, I'm not getting a bob. Well, you could get a bob if you wanted to, but whatever. But yeah, that's New Zealand. And still to this day. Like, you think you get over it, or they get over it? No. But this haircut I'm giving you would still be too long for your school back then.
Probably is now.
Yeah. Even now, yeah, you would still, they would tell you to cut it shorter or cut it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're just weird like that. I love the movie Heavenly Creatures. Because that was one of his first movies. I call him Sir Lancelot, by the way.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You never seen it?
I don't
I'll show you
think
some
so.
clips before you go. Now, it's got the Titanic girl in it.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
And the other one, the one who was in Two and a Half Men. She's the Kiwi. Now people will leave comments like, because I'm not retaining the names, but you know. They got the Googles. I don't have Google, I have scissors. They got the Googles, they can look it up. Isn't it fun when you start losing length like this?
Yeah.
It is fun. Oh, it's called liberation. How did you hear about the channel?
I used to walk this way to work, and I used to see the banner, and I just
Oh yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
It comes up and it goes down. It comes up and goes down sometimes. Now I've already said I'm the worst for recruiting for the channel, but it's mostly like you said, it's like word of mouth or that sort of thing. Yeah, because I'm not the best recruiter in the world, but I love it when things like this happen, when people come again, rather than me doing like heavy marketing. Like hair models wanted, and then a whole bunch of people start lining up at the door, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do that? But the random stuff like this is the better outcome for these experiences.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and I want you guys to be 80 and look back at the pictures and think, oh my god, that was so much fun. Yeah, it's right there. I'm still processing that texting I got tonight. Wow. Yeah, should totally become an 80s teenage movie. I don't think I'd watch it though. And the one comment I said about it, I was making jokes earlier about it, is like, yeah, turn that into a teenage movie. And just one thing, like, obviously fictionalize my character, but under one condition, you make that character more gay. Because in the 80s we weren't gay enough. Have you guys ever seen Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite character in Breakfast Club?
Oh. I don't know. I watched it so long ago. I
Yeah.
know it was on the TV too when I was younger.
Oh yeah, it would have been. They would have just repeated that stuff.
Yeah. My dad didn't like the movie though, so we watched it once and he said, well, that's done.
Well, it was probably because you're going to a all girls boarding school, and he's like, these Chicago youth smoking cigarettes. They were smoking pot in it too, weren't they? There was a little pot scene, wasn't there?
Yeah.
He had a stash, and he was challenging authority. Your dad was like, yeah, that's enough. You can turn that off now. Boarding school girl. You're too. It's no. Anyhow, it wouldn't have damaged you in any kind of way.
No.
It's a silly movie, actually. Did you watch 16 Candles?
No, I haven't
That's
seen
the
that.
better one. That's my
Yeah.
favorite one of them. 16 Candles came first, then Breakfast Club, and then Pretty in Pink. My favorite is always going to be 16 Candles because it's the first one, the low budget one, and the most, well, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it was the most simplistic of them.
Yeah, I saw the other day one of my friends was watching that. I haven't actually seen that one before.
Yeah. You'll get a chance.
Yeah.
They're all over the place now. You don't even have to rent movies anymore. Like when we had a Blockbuster Video. And you go to the video store. And the best thing about going to the video store was like people walking around the video store and looking at movies. Like, for example, couples, like the boyfriend and the, are dating or whatever, the boyfriend holding hands. And the douchebag conversations. Like, oh, this is such a good movie. Like, they're a friggin' film critic. Like, oh my god, they were the worst. Oh my god, the conversation in a video store? Worst. You're trying to impress the girl or whatever, like, oh, you should totally see this. The Mask. Like, what a genius movie. Like, I can't believe you haven't seen The Mask. It was a bit like that.
Yeah.
And then what happened? We got Netflix. And Netflix was the best. Get this, you know how Netflix worked?
Mm-hmm.
It was the best. Do you know what you did? So here's what you did. You went to a computer and then you typed into the computer the movies you want to see. And then what happened? They mailed you the DVDs. And then you got to watch them anytime you want, even better. No late fees. Because Blockbuster Video had late fees. So they would mail you the DVDs, you watch them anytime. And it had a return envelope, so when you're finished, you put them in the return envelope and you send them back. And then what you did, you went to a computer and you told it the new movies you want to see. And then Netflix would mail you those movies. You watch them anytime you want, no late fees. And then you can return them. See, Netflix, everyone should sign up for this Netflix. It's genius. So I think they're going to take over the world. Like, imagine that, mail order DVDs. Who comes up with this stuff? Wow. Blockbuster, you should be worried. There's a thing called Netflix. They mail you the DVDs. Now that's true, that's how Netflix got started. It was a mail order DVD service.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool to think about. Now today, it's like you take it for granted. You log into Netflix. It's like, now you just watch the movies all you want. But back then, no, it was a mail order DVD service when it first began. And people watching like, I remember that. Like, to leave a comment. Who had a Netflix account when it was a DVD order service? I did. And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, oh, you win, but you brag. Oh my God, haven't you signed up for Netflix yet? They mail you the DVDs. You can order like 5 or 6 or 7. They mail them to you, and then you watch them anytime, and you return them anytime. That's how it all began. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, they probably made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some people still love the Blockbuster, the rent. But Blockbuster was astronomical late fees and things like that, so they kind of were hurting their customer base. And then Netflix came along, and they had the, you order them. They usually, you come in the mail the next day, and you can return any time. So if you had that kind of patience, yeah, you would. And also, people like me became frustrated with Blockbuster because the one time you returned it late, they would charge you, the rental was like, say, $4, but they charge you a $7 late fee. Oh. And then Netflix comes along, I'll show you Blockbuster, I'm never going to order it from you ever again. So they alienated their customer base with penalties. And then when they were no longer the monopoly, they're like, oh no. And then they're done. And then good riddance, because I became angry with Blockbuster Video. I will admit. But the best thing about Blockbuster was it went bankrupt. They vanished from the whole world, except when I moved to Wellington in 2011, I rented a place in Kilburnie. It was like the last remaining Blockbuster Video. I think there's one in Oregon, but Wellington still had a Blockbuster Video when I moved here. I was like, oh my God, it's still one. There's still one here. It's gone now, but it was in Kilburnie. I was like, oh my God. And I used to just walk through it. I never got a membership. I walked through it like, it's all the same color scheme. It's all the same boxes. This is like literally the last Blockbuster I'll ever see in my life. They were gone for like 10, 15 years in North America, and Wellington still had a Blockbuster Video in 2011, 2012. Not sure when they closed it, but I was like, wow, let's make it a Blockbuster night. I never joined it, but I just went. Sometimes, because it had a front door and a back door. Now, if I'm on the main street, my house is on the other side of the back door. I can walk through the Blockbuster Video as a shortcut to get to my house. And I would. I come to the front door, and I would be quick. I'm like, enjoy the moment, and then go to the back door and just see if can I help you? They're like, I'm good. I'm just gonna walk slowly through here. Like, oh look, they have the Mask. They have Friday the 13th. They have Halloween. They have 16 candles. They have it all. You think I joined them in order? No.
Just keep walking.
Walk through. And also the color scheme and everything is like sensory. It's like, oh, that brings back good times, good memories.
There was a DVD rental in the small town where I grew up.
Oh, yeah?
But it wasn't Blockbuster. All of the DVD packets were all cleared out, and so it was
Yeah.
just clear with the little tape over what their names were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a very generic one.
It was sad when all that collapsed because I enjoyed the video store rentals when it was actually VHS tapes. Then everything went to DVDs, and then the whole thing collapsed from there. But the whole VHS thing was pretty awesome. Those big clunky tapes. It's pretty cool. Apparently, there's still one video store left with the VHS tapes out in Island Bay in Wellington. I've been out there. I don't know if they're still there now, but I was out there not long ago. You know, just pre-pandemic times, or even sometime. I was there not long ago. It's a fully stocked video store, and it's pretty awesome in Island Bay. So apparently, that may be the last holdout. Aren't you loving your new life? It's cool, eh? I'm going to layer it some. That's cool, because that's going to be, I left that fringe a little bit longer so you got to wash and wear hair again. The best things about moments like this is when you get a haircut like this, it's like, I bet you didn't think this was going to happen this morning when you woke up. And it's a good thing. And you got to go home and study, but with new hair.
Yeah.
So you're going to study with your fingers in your hair. Especially, I'm going to do a big coffee boof, like boof, blow dry on you. So even more. Going to make it big. Big like Texas. Like when you land at the airport in Texas in 1983, and you go to the Alamo car rentals, and you say, "Can I help you?" And you go, "Whoop!" And you say, "Y'all." They don't say y'all in Texas so much. They that's like Carolinas. Now, when you guys came in earlier, the people watching at home don't know. You walked into two Americans, Ohio and Virginia, coming in here getting their hair done. So you walked into like America Day. You came in when the Virginian. Because the guy who got the blonde hair was from Virginia, and the girl whose friend came to retrieve her was from Ohio. So you guys walked into America Day. Now this is such a like early 80s haircut in the mall, the one you're getting right now. Very much so. Above the shoulder, just so you know, on the shoulders in the back, up the sides. Split fringe, lots of layers. But back then they would have gone snip straight across. I slide through with more texture. But they would have so I'm not doing fully authentic because authentic would have been, but I'm going to go. It's the same sort of shape, it just softens the ends. So it's mixing the techniques in different eras, but aiming for the same shape. But sculpting is sculpting, right? Like if you have a vision in your head and you're going to sculpt it, you're going to get there, but you can use different techniques to get there. So really, it's inconsequential. Also, you're vibing, what's her name? Chrissy Hines from The Pretenders a little bit with this haircut.
No clue.
No clue, exactly. But anyhow, people watching it, I'm like, how could she not know who she is? Now I'm going to introduce you to Chrissy Hines before you leave. She's amazing. Now, Chrissy Hines is from Ohio, so it makes sense. But when she was young, she moved to London, England. And she worked in a clothing store in London, England. She was working in the shop. And guess who owned the clothing store?
Who?
Oh, you have to take a wild guess. She was unknown at the time. She was penniless. Her name was Vivienne Westwood. Ever heard of her?
Yeah, I've heard
So
that
Chrissy
one.
Hines was Vivienne Westwood's shop employee who moved from Ohio to London, England, and so she's working in the store. And Vivienne Westwood's husband was the manager of the Sex Pistols, right? And Chrissy Hines was hanging out through all that time because she wanted to be a musician too. And so anyhow, what happened? The Sex Pistols collapsed, and then the Birth of the Pretenders came out of after that. Yeah, and so her band was called the Pretenders. Ever heard of the Pretenders? No. But when we go pause, and we're gonna go pause soon, I'm gonna play a Pretenders song. With this haircut, you're a little bit vibing her. She's amazing. Now I want to read her biography because to be from Ohio, to move to London, to work for Vivienne Westwood, to sleep with a Sex Pistol, to get angry at the Sex Pistols, like you wanted to kill them, to this, all that collapsing and all that time collapsing and leaving working for Vivienne Westwood to becoming the Pretenders. And the Pretenders are still here today. They can sell at concerts all over the world. So hers is a good backstory. And she almost married a Sex Pistol because her work visa for England was running out. So she was going to get married for immigration purpose. So she almost married one of the Sex Pistols. But it didn't happen because he was too busy having sex with somebody else on the wedding. He was there at the altar. Where is he? He was having sex. So, didn't happen. And then one of the other sex goes, I'll marry you. She's like, oh, forget this. Her book would be amazing.
That would be.
Yeah. I'll show you guys pictures of her soon. This is amazing. The more we're layering and stuff like that. Oh, this is such a cool haircut. Now here's the next question. Do you want to blow dry your hair?
I don't mind.
Cool. We're going to do that in a minute. Almost finished the haircut. But we're going to take a little break for a second. I think you're going to blow dry the hair. Yeah. You've probably done each other's hair in the boarding, because you guys went to boarding school together. Were you in the same room?
No.
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 But you guys could be socializing and all that stuff. I'm just trying to imagine this, because it's such a different world. Like, I have no idea. A girls' boarding school in New Zealand and all the whole, like, I can imagine it. And people watching at home, like, do those things still exist? I'm like, yeah, they do. But yours is the most common, because you're from the agriculture family, aren't you? No, you're from the agriculture. Yours is the most common. It's agriculture families, and they tend to have like, it's expensive to go to that school, and then they just send you away to school, because they're working the farm away. So that's a common thing in New Zealand. Wealthy farmers sending their daughters to boarding schools. It's a thing in New Zealand. And it's traditionally it would be a thing, but it's amazing it's still a thing. Anyhow, I'm just saying. Cool, so let's take a commercial break.
Make your hair come alive. I'm Brooke Shields, and I love Wella Balsam because it makes your hair come alive, with shine, with that strong, healthy look. My hair takes a real beating, but Wella Balsam brings it right back. Hey, if you're not happy with your hair, get with Wella Balsam Instant Conditioner and make your hair come alive.
And we're back from our commercial break, and what we did was we learned about Chrissy Hines and the Pretenders, and Vivienne Westwood and Malcolm, and we did a little bit of an education session. So you want to blow dry, right? So you're going to jump on here, and you want to do the blow dry? Yes, you do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of mousse. So you can shake it. You can fake it till you make it. Let's take the cap off it. And what you do is you hold it upside down into your hand. There you go, good enough. Cool. I'll grab that from you. And then what you're gonna do, since that's a huge amount, you're gonna into it, go like this, and just kind of like all the way through, roots to end, all the way through. Oh, there you go. There you go. Throw it in there. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. And don't forget up in the front too, distribute it everywhere, evenly up in there too, everywhere. I'll help a little. And what you can do is you can comb it through. Just comb it through with that. Like try combing it through with that. Just to distribute it around a little more. Yeah, go for it. Now there's two type of blow dries. You could do like the whole brush it back kind of thing, or you can round brush it heavily. Are you keen on round brushing heavily?
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah. We're gonna throw you into the deep end. Because already you've nailed everything else, so you might as well go for the more technical. You'll be amazing. Sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one clip, we're going to take our finger, we're going to go like that through there to make a section. And so there's your section. And we're going to flick that up, and we're going to put a clip through there, and we're going to grab a round brush. Now here's the challenge. You got to hold this in one hand, and you hold this in the other. And we're going to do it on low heat. I'm going to clean off the brush for a second before we do it, because it's from the clip. Blow this on. So, hair dryer in one hand, brush in the other, go in there and round, 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 round. Make it big, make it as big as you can, make it big like Texas, go for it.
Okay.
You can do it on a low heat, like you don't have to do it, like you can do it on that setting. Yeah, you can do that setting if you want to, you don't have to blast it so hot. Then go up there, up through here, go for it. Muscle it, work it, have fun. If it hurts, that's an indication. I lost the picture, but I think we nailed it. Except your fringe isn't working quite yet, but it will start to fall into shape. It's a long fringe intentionally because it's going to shrink up, it's going to pop up.
Mm.
Would you like to blast the hairspray or would you like me?
You can.
Okay.
Finishing touch.
You've never blasted hairspray before.
No.
Nice and puffy, just the way we like it. For whatever reason, the fringe is being stubborn for the moment. I'm going to use, I think the reason why is that the round brush was too large. Oh, your hair's just stubborn in general.
Yeah.
That's better. It'll start to fall into shape. We could also do the old, what we'll do with this. Yeah, that did it. That's the old trick from the 70s. Oh, that's awesome. That's going to settle in well. Mirror, show the back. Are you ready for this? Isn't this better than a bob?
Yeah.
You weren't going to be happy with a bob. You're like, maybe we'll do a bob. I'm like, maybe not. We'll spin you so they can see at home. And from the back and all the way around. And I'll grab my camera. Let's do some after shots of you. Be a second. Come on over this way. We'll do some after shots. That's it. That's awesome. Good enough. Come on over. Let's check out the tubers. So that's your haircut finished. Come on over here. Stay behind the chair. Come over here. Stay behind the chair. Behind the chair. Stay behind the chair. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. I'm thinking we ended up more like late 70s with this look, but about 80. You know what?
Close enough.
1980s, like the hangover of the 70s. They weren't ready for something new. I think 81 was when we can synth 80s didn't come until about 81, 82. So this would be like 1980. This was still a style in 1980. But that's what we said. We said in the beginning. We're going for 1980. Yeah, that's what we said in the beginning. Cool. So you're finished, and you like a haircut. Then you gotta grab the chair. Cool. Jump on here. Cool. And we're gonna get started in a minute. We're gonna take a commercial break in the meantime, but at least you're in the chair right now. So we'll be a second.